how do we create fulfillment inside our lives? Well, first of all, let's talk about the obvious way that we don't create fulfillment. It's definitely not by having more stuff. If you look at the mainstream media, it's going to tell you that if you have more money, if you have a better body, if you have a better car, and if you have a better relationship, then that's going to solve all of your problems. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably already worked out that that is completely incorrect. And those things are great to have, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't have them, acquire them. But just understand that they do not bring fulfillment. They don't fill us up inside. Nothing outside of us can do that internal work. So what does give us fulfillment? What does fill us up from the inside? Well, part of the journey is knowing what our values are, and it's choosing to actually live our values. So what are values? Values are emotional states. They are virtues. They are things that are important to us. A value is love. That's a value, right? If you choose to live the value of love, you don't just say, well, I like the idea of it and it sounds lovely. It's to embrace that as an experience and to be someone who is loving all the time. Now, of course, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. So we're never going to be perfect at this. But to make an intention to bring that value out, to actually be that value inside our lives. Now, another great value is compassion. It's a wonderful value to have, and I think in today's world, it's needed probably now more than ever. If we decide to live that value, it's to decide to be a demonstration of compassion. Not just to point our finger and say, you need to be more compassionate, but to actually be that ourselves. Another wonderful value is contribution or service, to really make our lives not just about ourselves. One of the codes to living a great life is to simply do that, to not just focus on you all the time. You know, a lot of people do that. They end up becoming overly narcissistic. They make their entire life about themselves. Me, give, get. What about an opportunity to contribute something to someone else's life? And if we can actually build a life around that and around service, it'll give us so much meaning and so much fulfillment. Now, there's two types of values. There's meaning-driven values, which I've just spoken about right now. And then there's what's called hedonistic values. And hedonistic values are all about getting what you want right now inside the moment. And that's a dangerous way to live life. Essentially what that is I'm going to make decisions based on whatever's going to help me alleviate pain straight away. Whatever's going to help me have more comfort right now. Whatever's going to help me just feel good. And I never want to feel uncomfortable, and I never want to feel out of my own comfort zone. The downside to having hedonistic values is there is no growth. You can't live your life that way. It's short-term thinking, which gives dire long-term consequences. The opposite is to have meaning-driven values and essentially be willing to get vulnerable, be willing to get out of your comfort zone, be willing to step forward into the unknown. That is one of the most important commitments that we can make when it comes to developing great values in our life and ultimately learning how to have true fulfillment. If you have resonated with this video, if you've taken away anything from it, I would love to invite you to go ahead and click the link below. You'll head over to another page where I'd love to invite you along to a live webinar where we're going to talk about ideas like this, how we can bring them to life in our own lives, and more importantly, how we can share them with others. Go ahead and click the link, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.